You finally stop. The work is done for now. Nobody is asking anything from you. There is nowhere you need to be. But instead of relief, guilt appears. You think about what you should be doing, the message you have not answered, the task you could finish, the person who might be working harder than you. So even when your body is resting, your mind keeps working. This is why some people can lie down and still feel exhausted. Rest never becomes recovery because it is filled with self-judgment. Here are 7 hidden reasons you feel guilty every time you rest. Number 7. You learn that being busy means being responsible. For many people, busyness looks like proof of character. The person who wakes up early, answers quickly, stays late, and always has something to do is often called disciplined, reliable, or ambitious. The person who pauses may be called lazy. Even if nobody says it directly, you may have absorbed the message. Good people are productive. Responsible people are busy. Successful people do not waste time. So when your schedule becomes quiet, part of you becomes suspicious. You look around for something useful to do. You clean a room that is already clean. You check messages that do not need an answer. You turn a free evening into another list. The problem is not that responsibility is bad. The problem is using constant activity as evidence that you deserve respect. A full schedule can mean you are committed. It can also mean you are afraid to stop. Rest is not the opposite of responsibility. Sometimes it is the most responsible thing you can do before exhaustion begins making decisions for you. Number 6. You treat rest as something you must earn. You tell yourself you can relax after the work is finished. But the work is never completely finished. There is always another email, another goal, another chore, another improvement you could make. So rest becomes a reward placed at the end of an endless road. You may even create invisible conditions. I can rest when I have done enough. I can rest when nobody needs me. I can rest when I feel proud of what I accomplished. But if enough keeps changing, permission never arrives. This is how people become exhausted while still believing they have not earned a break. They do not ask whether their body needs rest. They ask whether their performance deserves it. But sleep is not a prize. Recovery is not a luxury. A quiet hour is not something you must purchase with suffering. Your body does not wait for you to become impressive before it needs care. The need appears because you are human, not because you completed everything perfectly. Number 5. You confuse slowing down with falling behind. Rest can feel dangerous when life feels like a race. The moment you stop, your mind imagines everyone else moving ahead. Someone is learning more. Someone is earning more. Someone is becoming healthier, stronger, more successful, or more disciplined. Meanwhile, you are sitting still. Modern life makes this feeling easy to trigger. You can open a phone for 2 minutes and see dozens of people announcing progress. You rarely see the rest, uncertainty, support, luck, or unfinished days. You only see movement. So your nervous system begins treating stillness like loss. But progress is not always visible. Muscles rebuild after effort. Memory strengthens between periods of learning. Good decisions often appear after the mind has enough space to process what happened. A person who never pauses may move quickly, but not always in the right direction. Rest does not automatically put you behind. Sometimes it is the moment you finally notice where you are going. Number 4. You only feel valuable when you are useful. Some people feel calm while helping others but uncomfortable when they have nothing to offer. They are the person who solves problems, remembers details, gives advice, stays available, and carries what other people drop. Being useful makes them feel needed. Being needed makes them feel secure. So when they rest, a deeper fear appears. If I am not helping, do I still matter? If I am not producing, will people still value me? If I stop carrying everything, will I become replaceable? This is why rest can feel emotionally empty instead of peaceful. You are not only stopping an activity, you are temporarily stepping away from the role that gives you worth. But usefulness is something you do. It is not the full measure of who you are. Relationships built only around what you provide will always make rest feel risky. Healthy connection allows you to be present even when you are tired, quiet, uncertain, or unable to help. You do not have to perform a service to deserve a place in someone's life. Number 3, your body stops before your mind gives permission. Sometimes your body knows you need rest long before your thoughts accept it. Your attention becomes scattered. Small tasks feel heavier. You become irritated more easily. Your shoulders stay tense. You read the same sentence repeatedly and absorb nothing. But the mind keeps negotiating. Just one more task. Just 30 more minutes. I should be able to handle this. You treat your limits like an argument you should win. Then the body eventually forces a stop through exhaustion, sickness, emotional shutdown, or complete loss of motivation. Even then, guilt may remain. You are resting because you cannot continue, but part of you still believes you should. This happens when you have learned to trust pressure more than your own signals. The body asks quietly at first. It asks through tiredness, tension, distraction, and discomfort. Ignoring those signals does not make you stronger. It only makes the final message louder. Rest is easier when you respond before your body has to demand it. Number 2, quiet time brings up feelings you have been avoiding. Being busy can protect you from uncomfortable emotions. As long as you are working, planning, answering, cleaning, or helping, you do not have to sit with what is underneath. But when activity stops, the feelings return. Loneliness, uncertainty, grief, anger. The question of whether the life you are building is actually the life you want. This can make rest feel strangely unpleasant. You may call it guilt, but sometimes it is discomfort with what silence reveals. So you reach for another task. You check your phone. You create a new goal. You tell yourself you are being productive. Anything to avoid the quiet. But constant busyness does not resolve what you feel. It only postpones the meeting. Real rest can be emotionally honest. It gives your mind enough space to notice what has been waiting for attention. That does not mean every break must become deep. Reflection. Sometimes rest should simply be enjoyable. But if stillness always makes you uncomfortable, the problem may not be laziness. It may be that part of you is afraid of what you will hear when everything becomes quiet. Number 1, you believe your worth depends on how much you can endure. This is often the deepest reason. Some people are proud of how much they can carry. They survive on little sleep. They work through stress. They hide pain. They remain dependable even when they are falling apart. Endurance becomes an identity. You may have learned this from family, school, work, or difficult experiences. Maybe strength meant never complaining. Maybe rest was only allowed when you were completely exhausted. Maybe asking for a break brought criticism, disappointment, or shame. So you began measuring worth through suffering. The more you can handle, the stronger you are. The less you need, the more impressive you become. The longer you keep going, the more deserving you feel. But a life built around endurance eventually turns every need into weakness. Rest feels guilty because it interrupts the performance. It forces you to admit that you have limits. But limits do not reduce your worth. They reveal that you are alive. Strength is not only the ability to keep going. It is also the ability to notice when continuing would damage you. It is choosing recovery before collapse. Saying no before resentment. Sleeping before your body demands it. Allowing a quiet day to exist without turning it into evidence against yourself. You finally stop. The work is still not completely finished. Someone else may still be moving. There may always be more you could do. But this time, you do not treat rest like a failure. You let your body become quiet. You let the unfinished things remain unfinished for a while. And maybe that is not falling behind. Maybe that is how you return to yourself with enough energy to keep living your life instead of only completing it.